Coming to paperback and e-readers in 2021, John Haynes, Taking Care of Business. The man who rules the world breaks on a brand new partner to help him take care of business in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Taking Care of Business in 2021 at online booksellers everywhere.
In a recent report on TMZ, Tyrese spoke more about his divorce from his wife Samantha of 4 years. And he stated that he's wrestled with this question: how can we naturally know how to be something we were never raised by? Most of us were raised in broken homes with no example of what being a husband, wife, or father is. Now, I'll agree with Tyrese on his statement that how can people be something they were never raised by, and most were raised in broken homes, but his statement only scratches the surface as related to his statement that black families are under attack. I'll go on to further say that black families are not only under attack, black families have had war declared on them for over a century. Now, I see this war that was declared on black families by white supremacists on the day Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. And that declaration of war was reinforced by terrorist groups like the Ku Klux Klan, which went out of its way to go out here and lynch black men and take that father out of the home because they feared the leadership of black men, feared black male authority, and feared black men getting economic and political power. Moreover, these same white supremacists inside of these areas went out of their way to deny black men an equal opportunity of employment, and also went out of their way to discriminate against those black men in so-called fair places like the North. And this all, again, was a part of the war on the black family, which managed to remain intact in spite of these terrorist actions of the Ku Klux Klan and the discrimination that black people experienced in the North, which put them in a second-class status. So your black family has been at war with white supremacy for years, and the reason why the black family has been at war with white supremacy is because white supremacists fear genetic annihilation. They know that black genes are dominant, and if black people are out here building black families and having black children, they fear that if those black people start to go out here and build businesses, build wealth, they will pass it on to their families, and these white supremacists will lose power because these white supremacists, their whole foundation for their ideology and their so-called dominance is all based on the second greatest lie the devil ever told. Now, the first greatest lie the devil ever told Eve was that she would know like God if she ate the forbidden fruit. And the second greatest lie the devil ever told the white man and the white woman was that they were superior to everybody else and that they were the dominant people in the world. Now, anyone who has read their Bible knows that in the New Testament, it is clearly stated that there is no difference between Jew and Greek, Scythian, or anybody in this world, because all are members of the body of Christ once they take his gift of salvation. So there is no difference between anyone. Unfortunately, the white supremacist believes this lie that he was told by the devil, and in order for him to keep his lie going, what he does is he wants to go after black people and he wants to destroy the black family because he knows that if there are dominant black people, then his days are practically numbered, so he needs to keep the lie going. And your Tyrese, he really does not understand how deep things go as related to the war on the black family, because the white supremacist, again, his fears of genetic annihilation and his truly knowing that his whole ideology is a lie, he's afraid of losing the house of cards that he's built, and he's afraid of that house of cards crumbling. So he needs to attack the black family because he needs the black family to be at the bottom so that he can keep the rickety house of cards he has built to maintain his smooth world. So he needs black people at the bottom of his world because that's the only way he can keep his illusion of reality as the standard. So your Tyrese was sitting there saying, oh, how can we naturally know how to be something we were never raised by? No, we had black families up until the last 50 years, and it was in that last 50 years that we started to see this war on the black family escalate. And that war on the black family, as I stated in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, started with the white supremacists targeting the black woman. Now, the white supremacist targeted the black woman because he saw that she was the weaker vessel, similar to Eve. And your black woman wanted to be just like this white woman. She wanted to be elevated to that high position in society, and she wanted that high social status. And because she wanted that high social position and that high social status, this is why she's out here and sided with these white feminists and wanted to get this power for herself. Unfortunately, what she did was fall into a trap where the white supremacists created the welfare state, kept the black family in a second-class position, and managed to take control over the black economy, depriving the black family of one of its greatest allies, the black father. Because most black women who subscribed to white feminism thought they could do better all by themselves, thought they could be strong and independent, thought they did not need a man, and did not want to be in a marriage under the Most High. No, most black women did not want to submit to the authority of the Most High and building a family. No, what they wanted to do was take a role inside of white supremacy's institution in order to get economic security. And once they got that economic security from the welfare state, or as in the case of Tyrese, divorce court, these women managed to be able to get economic security through the welfare state or through alimony and spousal support payments and child support payments that allowed them to maintain their lifestyle, but at the expense of the black man. And by doing that, they stripped the community of its leader and God's steward, the head of the household, the man with a direct connection to God. And what happened was the family wound up falling apart because the woman, well, instead of her following behind the man in God's natural order and following under the God standard, wanted to follow the white feminist and follow the white supremacist standard. And as a result, this is why so many black marriages and black families fell apart, because your black woman wanted to be a part of white supremacy instead of serving the Most High living God. So instead of her wanting to serve the Most High living God, she now serves the God of the white man. And this is how they waged war on the black family. And this is why we have marriages that can't work, because most women and men, they were raised inside of this dysfunctional paradigm of white supremacy, where children learning from their single mothers never learn how to see a man as the steward God established and the head of household that God established in his natural order. No, instead of them seeing a man as a head and a steward and understanding his role as a man, no, most women only see white supremacy system as the only thing out there, as the leader and the authority. So this is why you have so many women who are quick to file for divorce and break up their homes, because these women have no respect or reverence for the living God, and they have no regard for God's order and God's authority. So for them, all they're thinking is, I don't want to be under this man, because this man is not anything related to God. No, this man is not a steward. This man is not a leader. This man is not an authority figure as they see it. No, they see the white man as the head of everything. They see him basically as God. So that's why they have no respect for the black man and have no respect for authority of black men. So they don't know how to have a marriage, because they don't have a relationship with God, and because they don't have a relationship with the Most High. What happens is they don't want to submit to black male authority the way they would submit to God. They don't really understand that those chapters in the New Testament which talk about wives submitting to their husbands, because the black pastor will not preach that to black women. And the black family really does not understand how it's under attack by white supremacy, because many in the black community, they are on this quest for social acceptance of white people, that they don't understand that the same white people you're trying to seek acceptance and approval of have declared war on you, and they don't want to see you with a family. And they especially do not want to see black fathers, because if they see a black father is somebody who has power under the Most High and has authority, and they don't want you to see a black man in a leadership role, an authoritative role, and they don't want you to see a black man having children, because if a black man is out here having children and is running his household, that is a threat again to white supremacy, because white supremacy does not want to compete with black families. They don't want black families to get not only economic power but political power, and they don't want you to see a black man in a leadership role. And sadly, that's probably what happened to Tyrese's wife. She was out here probably raised in one of these single mother households, thought that Tyrese being a man in a leadership and authoritative role, was something that was bad, because in mainstream feminist media, we demonize the black man, make him out to be the bad guy, make him out to be an enemy, when all he wants to do is be a responsible steward the way God wants him to be a head of household, wants him to teach his children how to follow the Most High, and wants them to be a part of God's natural order. But you're a black woman who has been, again, brainwashed by white feminism and white leftist policies, believes that she can be strong and independent, when it was never stated in the Bible that for a woman to be any type of independent. When he made the woman to serve the man as a helpmeet and a support to the work God wanted done on earth. And all of this Tyrese really doesn't understand, because he's thinking that a man was naturally not taught this. But no, this was something that was always taught, but as related to white supremacy, because white supremacy does not want you to see black families. So they disrupted the family process in black America, and they made it where your children don't know what their roles are. He made it where the boy does not know how to be a husband, the boy does not know how to be a father, because he doesn't see those models, because white supremacy disrupted those models back in the 60s and the 70s with the white feminist movement, and used white feminism to destroy the black family, because they understood the old African proverb, a race can rise no higher than the moral position of its women, and as the woman goes, so goes the race. And if your woman is out here as the first teacher, teaching your children to hate the black man, then the direction of your race is going to head towards decline. And the reason why it's going to head towards decline is because when your children are taught not to respect a black man, respect black male authority, they don't have respect for a black man as a father. They have no respect for him as a husband. And instead of them learning how to work with that man towards building something, they make every effort to tear everything that man does down. And they instead want to go out here and be secure under a system of a welfare state or a system of child support where they put themselves in a secondary position. And that's all about trying to destroy the black family because, again, they don't want to compete with a black economy and they don't want to compete with black children because black children, if they're raised by a father and see a model of a husband and a wife loving each other, they're not going to be dependent on white supremacy. So instead of them sitting there thinking that black is beautiful, seeing black love and seeing love of each other, instead they're out here seeking white acceptance, white validation, and white approval and putting themselves in a secondary position. And the woman wants to, again, divorce the man because she does not respect him as a man. She does not respect his leadership as a man. She does not respect his authority as a man. And she does not even see him as a man. She sees him as a child, and she's willing to put up with him as a child just to get some seed in order to be a part of the welfare state or to be able to get the alimony money out of that man or that child support money, because instead of her seeing a man, she sees a tool. And that's, again, all about destroying the black family because they don't want you to have a black family. And your Tyrese, again, really does not understand how deep this goes. And I suggest your Tyrese start doing some research because if he understood the big picture about it, like I presented in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, he would understand the reason why his marriage fell apart is because 70% of black women have learned not a culture of black pride. No, they have learned a culture of white feminism. And because they have learned a culture of white feminism, they do not value black men as men. They do not respect black men as men. They do not see black men as leaders or authority figures. And they don't want to submit to the black man in a marriage because they were told lies about the black man that demonize him. And these lies that they were told about black men, they have taken them down the road to the paradigm of failure. And in that road of the paradigm of failure, they're looking to lead the black man, and they're looking for the black man to follow them. But in the real world, men do not follow the woman. The men, under God's natural order, follow the living God, and then the woman, who is made to be the helpmeet and support for the man, follows the man under God's natural order. That's what the order is. Unfortunately, your black woman did not learn that order because that's not the moral position she was taught by her mother and her grandmother. No, she was taught about white feminism, and white feminism teaches them that they don't have to respect the man, and then they see the man out here, they don't see a model for teaching that woman how to respect a man. No, they think that they are smarter than the man, better than the man. This is what the feminist culture teaches your black woman, and because she learns these ideas, that's why your marriages fall apart, and this is why 80% of marriages are where the woman files for divorce, because the woman was never taught how to respect a man, and she was never taught to respect a black man, because in her eyes, a black man is basically an overgrown child, and she does not have to respect a black man in any way, shape, or form, because the white supremacist told her she does not have to respect him. at all. And that's all about the PSYOP war campaign that has been waged on the black family for the last 50 years, knowing that they could not terrorize black families like they did during the days of Jim Crow and the days after the Reconstruction. The Ku Klux Klan could no longer kill the black man, so they sought to emasculate the black man and separate him from his woman, because that's how they would declare war on the black family, attack the black family, because they don't want to see black families. And Tyrese really needs to look at the institution he works for, Hollywood. How many images of black men and black women does he see together in that media? I mean, that's a critical question I need to ask Tyrese, because as someone who has studied the entertainment industry he has worked in for over 20 years, when I look at the images today, that's all part of the psychological warfare waged on the black mind. Oftentimes when you see an image of a black man, he's not even in the picture at all, and that's white supremacy's way of erasing him from the minds of black people, because it programs the idea in your mind that there is no black man out there who wants to be a husband or a father. And then they go on to put images of black women with white men, and they have these images of the black woman with either a white man, and if she's having children, they have images of her with just her and her children. And I saw a recent ad like that where they either had the black woman with a white man and some biracial children, or they had a black woman with black children, and those black children were only with their mother. So this has been an ongoing war on the black family, and Tyrese does not know how deep this war goes. He does not know how deep this rabbit hole is, and he's thinking it's just about kids watching and mimicking their parents, and that is a small part of it. But the bigger picture as related to the black family has to do with these white supremacist institutions waging war on the black family and using the black woman as a weapon in that war. Because if they use the black woman as a weapon in that war, what they can do is take the race in a direction towards not only its complete decline, but its ultimate genetic annihilation, and taking the black race towards extinction. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, which desperately needs more donors, the PayPal or the Cash App, and you can find all those donation links by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up my book, which goes in depth more on this whole campaign to destroy black relationships between black men and black women and destroy the black family, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, in paperback, Kindle, Smashwords, the iBookstore, and other online booksellers. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Blast from the Past. Hell's aspiring angel takes on her demonic doppelganger in this action-packed, time-traveling E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Blast from the Past with a bonus E-Steam comic book, No Good Deed, in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere.